To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The weak of the strong, who got it going on? I just want the paper. I just want the paper. The weak of the strong, who got it going on? I just want the paper. The pizza. When I get dusted, I like to spread the blood like mustard. Trust it, my hardcore rain leaves you rusted. Move over, Lucifer. I'm for you. When I die, fuck it, I wanna go.
Welcome to WWGeek Podcast. This is Pirate King.
And this is Cool Guy Shoe.
And today we will be talking about a few things. Birdman's interview on the Breakfast Club.
The shortest interview ever.
To the Civil War storyline, just to help you all out with the comic book version, which they might be going by or they might not be fully going by. A little bit about Spider-Man, because next week we want to talk about Spider-Man in full. Also, a segment about fictional heroes and their astrological signs.
How is it tied together?
We're just gonna play like a little bit of the Birdman interview. Only because I know you've seen a lot about it on Facebook, whether you wanted to or not. And to enjoy everybody else's laughter, we're going to play a little bit of the interview to help you out with, future laughing at Birdman on Facebook. And possibly making memes because we're making shirts about it.
Please put some respect on it.
Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
He done cursed us out. Tell him, get it off your chest, Birdman.
Said it already. I ain't got to talk no more.
Cause I don't understand the angle. Like what?
Said it already.
So why come here?
I did it already. I'm here. So what's happening?
I mean, it's all good, but I'm saying
here.
why?
And I'm here. What's happening?
I'm all good, but I'm
Well,
saying why come
that,
here
man.
just
Look,
to
I'm
curse
here.
us
What's
up?
happening, man? I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you and your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You understand me? Straight up like a man.
So what's
No
the
shit,
issue?
no shit. Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. I just come to let y'all know, put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Did you pull up on Ross that way or Trick Daddy?
Man, I'm pulling up on you, nigga.
Yeah, but I'm the
pulling up on
radio
you.
guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio
I
guy.
hear you, my nigga. Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking. Let's rock.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, grand opening, grand closing.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Nah, we good. We good. You know,
There you have
Man,
it.
what about all my notes?
We good. That's it.
Damn,
Quickest
man.
Breakfast Club
We
interview
better now for
ever.
that. Well, that's the Breakfast Club. Our
Good
shortest
morning.
interview ever.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we're back. We're going to talk about the Civil War storyline. For those of you who don't know, Marvel released Civil War from 2006 to 2007. The writers was Mark Miller. It was about it was only 7 issues of the actual Civil War comic book, and a bunch of other comic books from Spider-Man to Wolverine to Fantastic Four. Literally almost every character in the Marvel universe was involved in the storyline and had a comic book touching on the Civil War. It was really the U.S. government attempting to register all superheroes street level to godlike, and placing them under kind of like a law enforcement situation, where they're all known, like their identity is known to the government, and they're basically go after whoever the government says, like in kind of like the Dark Knight Returns with Superman.
That's like the worst case of like house arrest, service.
Yeah,
probation.
like so basically it's the government having complete control over what superheroes do and where they're at.
Basically,
Captain America disagrees with the government wanting complete control over superheroes because it goes against, like, I guess, like that superhero code. Like, you have a boss, you have somebody using you as a weapon, which is exactly what kind of Tony Stark has been trying to prevent with his own technology, is trying to keep it out of people's hands so they could use it as a weapon.
Right, not commercial.
And Tony Stark, after like events happen kind of around the world to push like the government's need for control of superheroes, like catastrophic events, like heroes don't really answer to anybody when they get in a fight with a villain and destroy like half of a city. But these fights are necessary. Like, nobody else can really fight these fights. I know nobody could probably face down the Red Hulk or clearly the Green Goblin, or you wouldn't need superheroes in the first place.
Right. I don't see a police officer fighting Mysterio.
They come to the government themselves come to Tony Stark, and they say that they're going to launch Sentinels in the sky if he doesn't join their side, and that they're going to basically put the world in a police state, like Nazi Germany style, if the superheroes don't act. Like, superheroes will be hunted down. Nobody will be free. So they really didn't give Tony Stark an option at all. They came to him and are relying on him.
Like, extremely.
It was kind of crazy seeing Captain America kind of fight against the government, but it also represented his character in general, really.
Right, the embodiment.
The embodiment of freedom, yes, the embodiment of America. Like, he's his all of his opinions, everything. It all ties with being an American soldier, you know.
American pie and freedom.
So Tony Stark and Captain America gather different superheroes with different ideals, and they fight for a while, and it's an actual civil war. Some heroes do lose their lives. Some heroes, are completely out of the fight. They, non-spoiler because he's not going to be in the movie, but the Illuminati launch the Hulk into space, which the Illuminati is a collection of the strongest superhero minds on Earth, which is Professor X, Black Bolt, Reed Richards, Stephen Strange,
not
Iron Man. Yeah, Bruce Banner could be part of that, but they fear whoever side he's on, that side will be overpowering.
So the best way to do it is send him on a planet or off Earth.
So that's kind of the gist. And Spider-Man has a really important role in the movie because, or in the comic book, because some of the story in general revolves around him and the Registration Act. Not really gonna spoil things for you, but he's very, in the movie. I know they're gonna make him very Spider-Man like. And it's probably going to be pretty accurate to the comic book. From what we've seen so far, it has been. So, but that's basically the Civil War storyline, like, in a nutshell. So it's not confusing. There's an actual event in the comic book that kicks off. It's really kind of crazy, like a kind of crazy, like it has to do with supervillains and superheroes, and it kind of is the reason why the Registration Act is pushed so harshly.
It gets really real. Like.
But that's Civil War. And relating to Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie is titled Homecoming. They've announced that it's going to revolve around a Peter Parker in high school, a younger Peter Parker, which is where Peter Parker was intended to stay. The majority of his comic books has been about him and being a high school character. So,
right, because in Ultimate Spider-Man, he was a high schooler.
Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man, he's still a kid. The new Ultimate Spider-Man comic book who Miles Morales plays Spider-Man, a completely different person, which is it's not rare, but
a different somebody other than Peter Parker.
Yeah,
as a full
somebody other than Peter Parker being a popular Spider-Man isn't been like a huge thing for a while. There's also the Spider-Gwen comic book.
Spider-Gwen.
Where Gwen Stacy becomes a Spider-Man instead of Peter Parker, which is kind of crazy.
Silk.
Speaking of the Spider-Man movie, Ice Cube is up for the role of J. Jonah Jameson, which is kind of interesting.
He's a menace.
Because he actually kind of plays that character lately. Is like a J. Jonah type, boss or whatever.
I can see him with the Ice Cube attitude.
Yeah, I can see
Is
that.
he gonna rap?
No, I doubt that.
That would be the first jump.
He might be listening to Ice Cube in his office though. That would be pretty
wouldn't
funny.
that be dire? And then Stan Lee
shows up.
He's gonna parody as Ice Cube. Might as well just do it. Alternate realities.
It's pretty. That would be funny.
Ice Cube. So now he's a gangster that owns a newspaper company, and he doesn't like Spider-Man. I wonder. He's got to be a huge Spider-Man fan.
He might be a big comic book fan. I haven't really seen him in a whole lot of comic book stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of these celebrities are geeks, and nobody really ever knows it. Some of these characters, like Ben Affleck, for instance, he is a very huge geek and close friend of Kevin Smith, and he ends up being Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm trying to think of somebody.
I feel like the role he's been waiting for his like entire life is for him to be Bruce Wayne and Batman. You know,
like every young man in America is waiting at least one point where they get to play as Batman. I'm still waiting on my turn to play as Batman. But I'm trying to think who else. You know what? Yeah, because he was Daredevil too.
Yeah, he was Daredevil, and that wasn't a coincidence. Like, he didn't just coincidentally get the part of Daredevil.
I'm gonna just be Daredevil now. Can I be Daredevil? Yeah, sure.
And unfortunately, the director wasn't too
what's a Daredevil?
awesome.
No, man, not as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution.
If you all are wondering what we're doing right now, we're playing Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2. Are you the commando?
I'm playing as Axton. And I have an eye patch.
You got an eye patch?
Yeah.
You got an eye.
I look like Deathstroke from the Flashpoint universe. Like, he has like an eye patch, and like he's like got like a toboggan. He looks like it's like some elite commando.
The other skin they got of him, he looked like Crossbones.
I should have changed my skin. I didn't even change my skin.
Wait a minute.
Why are you over there and I'm over here, dude? There's missions over here.
Missions? I'm getting guns and falling off of stuff. Dang it.
I'm about to start shooting at stuff.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I hope you guys have seen the Doctor Strange trailer. Just to remind you real quick, if y'all seen it yet. And what's the name of the guy that's playing as Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme?
What was that?
What was the name of the guy that plays that's starring as
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Benedict.
Who was also the voice of Smaug in the Desolation of Smaug and the Battle of the Five Armies, the Hobbit movies. And he is Sherlock Holmes on the BBC Sherlock Holmes show.
Like 3 separate powerful entities.
Yeah.
A dragon.
I think it's safe to say he's probably a geek too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's actually been, involved in geek culture.
And like the most geekiest things you can pick: a wizard, a dragon, and Sherlock Holmes. You can't get no more. You basically a Doctor Who. You can't get no more geekier than that. That's like Ooh, I got a pistol. No, I don't have a pistol. Now. Oh. I found online. I was looking on Otaku News. I don't have a picture because we don't have video yet. But They making a new live action Death Note movie, and it's coming out in 2016. I don't know the release date of it yet, but it's gonna be called Death Note Light It Up. So I don't know. It might be like a musical or something like that because of the name Light It Up. The story they're gonna continue on from, I think they wrote a whole different story. They're probably gonna Attack on Titan the movie. So I don't know. Ever since that, I'm gonna just wait to see that. But yeah, another live action Death Note movie. I didn't think they was gonna make another one. I thought it was only one. The cast for the live action Ghost in the Shell movie is posted on Kotaku.com. It's a blog site of Otaku News. And they posted about Scarlett Johansson. Well, they had the picture of Scarlett Johansson as oh my gosh, I forgot her name. The leading lady of Ghost in the Shell. It looks like it's dope. She got her red hair though. It's like not the classic Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Dang.
Oh, with black.
How did we both forget the name of the main character of Ghost in the Shell?
It was sitting right there on the tip of my tongue. I spent all night trying to say it out loud and stuff. You want to talk about Birdman real quick?
No, we already touched on that.
We did, yeah. Put some respect on it.
For those of you who don't know, astrology is a cosmic science kind of defining your place in the universe as a whole. Like, you were created in the form of that astrological sign, and most of the astrological signs are show the same personality and react to same things throughout life the same way, like
behavior archetypes.
Like the ancient archetypes of the astrological signs are Aries is the warrior, Taurus is the builder, Gemini is the messenger, Cancer is the mother, Leo is the king, Virgo is the analyst, Libra is the judge, Scorpio is the magician, Sagittarius is the gypsy, Capricorn is the father, Aquarius is the thinker, and Pisces is the mystic. We found a few fictional characters that you all might feel interested to hear about their astrological signs, in how crazy it is that writers of stories and comic books and books and anime and movies base these characters on signs, and they usually are kind of the same character.
Mm-hmm. Usually using the archetype, like for instance, Batman, his character archetype usually is the representation of Anubis, working in the underworld, guiding spirits, the other principles that go along with what Anubis stands for. Resurrection, using the darkness to find insight about yourself and using that darkness to help others and stuff. Superman, Heru, Horus, who else? Hercules, obviously represents Hercules, or the basic hero archetype. A good leader, protective, resourceful, that archetype. Wonder Woman, Isis, Karen, strong, warrior, and also a little bit of the Helen archetype too. Like, it's all personality archetypes.
I found a few. I looked up a few Aries, since I'm an Aries. Fictional characters that I thought was kind of interesting. Angelica Pickles from Rugrats is an Aries. Now, saying that,
I can see that.
The reason she's an Aries is because she's so sadistic.
Yeah.
And Aries are capable of having a really sadistic, torturous side. So the Emperor, for example, is an Aries. That's an actual, like, George Lucas made Emperor Palpatine an Aries, and Aries also have a dictatorial capability. Hitler, for example. Adolf Hitler was an Aries. That's the height of your negative use of your, I guess, your cosmic power is becoming an evil dictator.
Like, he was sadistic enough, Palpatine, not Hitler, but maybe.
Actually,
Palpatine,
both of them, since Palpatine is based on Hitler.
No, Palpatine recruited Darth Vader, though.
Yeah.
See, Hitler's a little nicer. He didn't have
Yeah,
a Darth
but
Vader.
no. Hitler had a lot of Darth Vaders.
All right.
He had
his generals.
the character from the Jew Hunter character from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
That was based on actual agents that Hitler possessed. Yeah. So he had Darth Vader type characters around himself in real life. You have to. There has to be somebody just as powerful as you are. Yeah, and like very powerful enforcers to go out and, do the
dirty work.
So, but with him, well, actually, Palpatine now in the extended universe, that's canon. They've brought up the fact that Darth Vader had Inquisitors that worked under him. Right. They were powerful, but not as powerful as him. So
right. Rononora Zoro from One Piece is a Taurus. And anybody that's a fan of Rononora Zoro, he's a stubborn samurai. You can't get any more basic than a stubborn samurai.
Bolin, who's an Earth character, in the Legend of Korra, he's a Taurus, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
that makes sense.
The Mako, who's an Aries, they represent fire and earth, so they represent like the height of that physical power for that element. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not surprised he's a Taurus.
And he's kind of stubborn. He's really nice. He's a really nice character, but he's kind of stubborn.
Yeah,
and
bullheaded.
But I mean, it's like for his character, it's not an unnecessary stubborn. Like it's a really needed stubbornness.
King,
yeah,
basically,
it's pretty cool. And then Mako, who's the fire character, he ends up becoming a protector and working for the police force.
Right.
Yeah, and he's kind of hot-headed. He's not. He's kind of less hot-headed than Zuko was. But even though he grew up on the streets, and Zuko, who is also an Aries,
Zuko is like that. Well, the shadow aspect, but then when you come into your, because ain't he like a whole?
Yeah, he became the Fire Lord. He became, He became the opposite of his dad, though. He became
mad opposite.
Yeah, he became what a king should look like when they rule a country, And that was from experience. That was 100% completely from experience. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he didn't want that action from Aang again.
Yeah, he didn't. He
didn't want to get that ass.
He didn't want that action from Aang.
Like, nah, I'm good. Let me see.
All these characters really have shown. Oh, Wonder Woman is an Aries.
That makes sense.
James T. Kirk is an Aries. Which he's the really cocky side of an Aries because he was But it's
Green Arrow was
Oliver Queen is an Aries, which is he. You know what's crazy is because Aries, all like warrior type Aries that put themselves in a like Wonder Woman and James T. Kirk and Zuko, they all put themselves in a trial by fire to become more powerful and to become the warrior that they need to be. Who was we just talking about?
Batman's an Aquarius, and I'm Aquarius. Therefore, I'm Batman. No, seriously, Batman's an Aquarius.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Batman's an Aquarius, which Aquariuses are very
rule breakers, not rebellious.
Yeah, they are.
Think outside the box.
They are. Yeah, that's the reason why they're looked at as rebellious, because they do think outside the box. They're
unpredictable.
It's
like, are you a guy wearing a man costume?
I mean, I know you have other characters that are other signs of other characters, but I just found this interesting that these characters, like Goku from Dragon Ball Z, is an Aries, which Aries
hella makes sense.
Yeah, Aries have like this naivety to them, but it makes them learn from experience. Everything that's happened to Goku has been 100% experience. That's the only way he's learned. That's how he's become the character he's become is from experience. He's worked there hard, but he's had to face these enemies that made him stronger. Bill Compton from True Blood. I don't know if how many of you watched True Blood, but I really didn't even like that character. He was really overconfident. Like, I mean, yeah, he was a vampire, but like, oh my god, dude.
Opposite Aries.
The entire House Martell of Game of Thrones, which are desert warriors, basically.
All of them.
It makes a lot of sense.
Aries.
Yeah, I don't like. They're all born in April. That's.
Are they all brothers or? Man,
It's a bunch of people. It's like men and women.
and they're all just happen to be Aries.
Tony Stark has Aries traits. Jasmine from Aladdin.
Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yeah.
That explains the pet tiger.
Romeo Montague from Romeo and Juliet.
That explains the suicide.
Belle from Beauty and the Beast I thought was interesting that she's a Taurus.
Well,
Or traits of a Taurus because Beast is like a horned bull type monster thing.
he's a minotaur. if you
Yeah.
will.
Katniss Everdeen has Taurus traits.
That makes sense. Sacrifice. of-
Peter Pan has traits of a Gemini, which
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Literally, he flies. Literally.
Rapunzel has traits of a Gemini.
Oh.
The 11th Doctor from Doctor Who has traits of a Gemini.
Makes sense. Makes sense. He's played several different personalities.
Yeah, Wendy Darling from Peter Pan has Cancer traits.
Wendy Darling.
Yeah. Did you have any
Bakuya Kuchiki. Bakuya Kuchiki. He's an Aquarius. Captain Yamamoto from the 13 Goatee Squad. He's also an Aquarius. Hitsugaya, he's an trying to remember. Ichigo Kurosaki is a Cancer, which makes sense because his other world inside his Zanbakuto is like all water based and stuff, and he's like kind of sad, and like how he got his spirit powers is when his mom got attacked by like the Grand Fisher. It was this like fish like a Ron card or whatever. So it's like he's real protective.
And that makes the water thing is significant because the signs are broken up into 4 elements, which are earth, water, air, and fire. And it depending on every trait has 3 every element has 3 signs that it falls under. For instance, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries falls under fire, passion, aggressiveness. That's the baseline of all those signs.
Right, Gemini's being air, freedom, detach. Same thing with Aquarius, detach, intelligent. Same with Libras, air signs. All earth sign bases are usually like more like on the personal, the matter level, the body level, like the emotional level. Most air signs, fire signs are kind of like more on the intellectual level. But speaking of Geminis, you want to know a little interesting fact about the world's most powerful Gemini, R.I.P. to his soul, the purple one? Did you know that in 1991 there was a DC comic published? It was a Prince comic book with a story called Alter Ego, written by Dwayne McDuffie from DC.
So you're saying Prince is a Gemini? Is that what you're saying? And he had a comic book?
I'm saying Prince is a superhero Gemini. That's what I'm saying. No lie. Here's the story of it is basically now the name of it, like I said, is called Alter Ego. He returns to Minneapolis after a long tour and winds up stopping 2 rival gangs from killing each other. It's basically they took the Purple Rain story and then put like a DC superhero underline. But the reason why it's so dope is because it's written by Dwayne McDuffie, the motherfucker that did the Justice League series. Like,
Oh man. Oh, what, the 90s Justice League series?
all
Justice League?
he's the one that like transcended the shit and made it like when we see it on TV, like it's the TV, the comics, like
Oh man.
that brother's dope.
That's kind of crazy that sucks that Prince is gone, but I'm happy he's getting his recognition that artists get after death. Not a lot of artists, you know,
Get it
from
while they're alive. And then
especially writers. I'm a writer, and I know that my writing is going to be far more popular as of writers throughout time after I'm gone. Now, saying that, not a lot of people, when they go, their art doesn't take off like that.
Right.
Prince is somebody that's definitely, his art's going to be, his art is timeless, you know what I'm saying? He himself, I felt like he was a geek. He did do the original Batman from the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, the Tim Burton music cover. He did the cover for that one.
That was pretty. He had a few songs on that album. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was a known geek as a big fan of Batman. Huge fan of Batman.
And he had a comic book. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And he was in a DC comic. I don't know how much more geeky you can get to that. You was in a DC comic in the 90s, like right at the peak of like dope comic books, and like Prince's style fits that. Like I can't wait to find it so I can read it, because I want to know what was his powers. Was it the powers of seduction, or did he have like I need to read it, man. Which I'm glad that like the people that they chose, or like the fans that chose to write the comic, was McDuffie, like, and it says here that the person that did the cover for it was Brian Poland also, like, and they're Prince fans. That's why they did it. That's the whole reason why the comic even got made. It's like, hey, oh purple god, we're gonna make a comic for you, and then boom. Just a little side thing, yeah. Prince is immortalized like everywhere, like forever, like Lucy type shit.
Yeah, he's kind of like through, like, yeah, he's, man, wow, he really is like a omnipotent being now. Like,
definitely,
his music, from everything, from his music to everything, like, is immortalized. Like Bob Marley, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, forever.
I thought he was a Scorpio because he's like really ladies' man. Like, I guess Gemini are capable of that. Oh, real life Gemini. Both Donald Trump and Kanye West are Gemini. Which I guess those are like the asshole, racist dictator versions of each other. Or Gemini. Well, like, they're kind of polar opposites, but they're like the same person at the same time. Like, I guess different aspects of society. But I thought that was pretty interesting to show like the polar opposite, who Prince, like, did not become Kanye West,
he stayed in art.
But you could see the skill, talent, you know, that drive. I mean, between Kanye West and Prince, them being like polar opposite Gemini, they both have like amazing musical talent.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of their attitudes and their duality that they both have.
Yeah. Prince was a fool with it. Kanye is a beast with it. So yeah. But, like,
and then you throw Donald Trump in there, who
he's a creative
is
liar.
a representation of
liars and
bad person.
Personess.
In general.
Yeah, just in general, he's Palpatine.
Yeah, he's kind of Palpatine.
Like Gemini Palpatine.
Palpatine, I don't know if you knew this or not, but was against the treatment of alien species the correct way. Hence why he enslaved the Wookiees and made them build the Death Star.
Huh.
He wasn't like, oh, hey, Wookiees, what's up? There were no alien stormtroopers. There was barely any alien people that, there was barely any alien people who served as higher ups in the, like Grand Admiral Thrawn. I can't remember what his species is, but he's like one of like very few aliens that held a position of power in the Empire, you know.
So
like,
he was an alienist.
Well, I mean that goes with like how he's compared to Hitler, how he's like Hitler. The Empire in general is built around like the Nazi regime. Like George Lucas modeled it after the you know,
Third Reich.
Yeah. So, and then Vader is. You know, even the story of Vader, you know, he's kind of manipulated into being that. Nevertheless, he becomes Vader's, you know, fist. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did it say, Anakin? What was his sign?
He was in.
I think he was a Pisces, wasn't he, or something like that?
He was a Cancer.
Yeah, he might have been a Cancer. He was a. it was
Where
one
his
of
emotions can be easy.
yeah, it was a easily manipulated sign, which there's no saying that every sign has their drawbacks, every sign have their strengths and their weaknesses.
The balance.
Yeah, you can still conquer that weakness, you know what I'm saying? Or you could let that strength fade away. Either one, it's not.
They're just archetypes, not personality, but like the archetypes, like the basis of it, like where you start off as and stuff. Are you sure? I'm trying to remember.
Do you have any anime news for this week?
Other than the Ghost in the Shell, hold on, give me a second. And the Death Note movie, no, nothing new.
There's a new Death Note movie.
2016.
There's one that I don't know if that new one, because I was downloading the first one that came out a while back, and I wanted to download the new one, but I don't know if there's 3 or just 2 of them.
I think it's 2 of them because this one is called Light It Up, and it was like the second movie.
Okay, yeah.
But the one you might be talking about, well, no, because there's also a freaking series too, a live action series of Death Note. Goku's Kaioken Super Saiyan God. I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we might have. We were actually able to watch the entire match, the whole episode or 2 episodes of it.
Man, go watch it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but please go watch it because
There's not a lot of spoiler to it, but it's
Goku goes to Kaioken, Wild Super Saiyan God, and then he forfeits the match like he does in almost all of his major tournament matches in the whole Dragon Ball Z series.
Yeah, he does do that a lot. He does. But it's not about like winning to him. You know what I'm saying? It's about becoming more powerful. He wants to fight the next powerful guy. Like,
right. But except this time he quit because he kept getting muscle spasms all over his body because he pushed himself too much using Kaioken times 10. Classic Goku. But an Aries, because probably in the instance, if they needed to fight again, he'll probably get up.
yeah, he would probably. I mean, we've seen this dude do like ridiculous things.
Oh my God!
This dude's been like falling apart before.
Every single bone in his body broken. He's still fighting Frieza somehow off of willpower. But nope, that's all I got. Cha-cha.
That's all the anime news you have?
That's all the anime news. Goku didn't die this week. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
All right, well, we can wrap up this week's WWGeek Radio with if you are interested to hear your sign, just message us on Instagram and we'll give you a list of characters that are your sign, or we can even post it if you want.
Make it a good one.
And if you have next week we'll be talking about Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse and multiple spider-like characters. If you have a suggestion on segment, just let us know on Instagram and we'll see if we can do that. Until next week, this is Pirate King.
And this is Cool Guy Shoe.
And here's a song from Prince.
Peace.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
yeah.